another episode of Unaccompanied Adults with Joe Diaz. What's going on, everybody? The exuberance. Like a round of applause. That's going on. The exuberance, the excitement. Can you believe it? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. I much appreciate you. I love you. I love you. Have a seat. Have a seat. Man, another episode of Unaccompanied Adult with Joe Diaz. I am your host with sometimes the most, Joe Diaz. What's going on, everyone? I hope everybody is doing splendidly. I hope everybody is living it up as we should be. The weather for now seems to be more agreeable with us. It seems like it's getting warmer. Yeah, which I'm very happy for, because it's been like 17 degrees, 11 degrees waking up in the mornings. Now it's more, it's looking a lot better these days. You know, it's still chilly in the morning, but it gets hitting the 50s, the mid 50s. So I'm really happy for that. Because damn, man, like this snow was bumming me out. This snow and this cold has been bumming me the fuck out. It's just, you know, you get tired of it. Like, is winter just lasts so long that it's just like you forget what sunshine looks and feels like. But yeah, you do. I am seeing more people out. A lot of people at the car washes and whatnot. I see a lot more people in shorts that I'm comfortable with. But hey, to each his own. I'm just glad you're able to enjoy the warmish weather, or I guess for this time of year, it's a little warm than it's supposed to. But yes. Oh man. Oh, so this is like, in general, I do like to be a little bit more a lot transparent with you guys than I would say. I try to be as transparent as possible as I can. I do keep some things to the chest, very close to the chest, because I don't want to divulge a little too much information about myself. But for those of you who are close to me, you already know this information I'm about to share with the rest of the audience. But a couple of months ago, I was laid off from my job. It's just budgetary reasons. Like in today's economy, in today's workforce, that's is happening more often than not. I was pretty high ranking over there. I don't for I was working all the way in Pennsylvania, and I still live in Jersey. It was it was a pain in the ass driving to and fro. Like it's an hour and a half one way, hour and a half back, sometimes 2 hours on the way back. So it was taking its toll on me. So it was like one of those blessings in disguise, I should say. But with that being said, yeah, it was a rough couple of months. Looking for work. The job market, the being what it is, very competitive. A lot of people out of work, and it was just it took its toll mentally on me. But thank God I have my kids, I have my girl, I have my brothers and my boys to help me keep my to keep my mind straight, my head straight, because they in general they know how dark I can get when mental health comes into play, especially, any time that a person deals with unemployment, it's it takes its toll on you, not just financially, but mentally, especially if you're going, uh, from job interview to job interview, you're applying to a million fucking places. They're like, well, we're moving with another direction at this point in time. And it's just, again, it's it can fuck with you. But the reason I'm sharing this with everybody now is just recently I went to a job interview, applying for one position where, which is my old position that I had at my other company. And I guess they were so impressed with me that they actually recommended me and offered me the position higher than what I interviewed for. So I'm very, very happy for that. I haven't given myself a round of applause. I do. Because it's, well, thank you. And it's just not that. This was the benefit of having like a soundboard and your own platform in life. I could just hear a round of applause whenever I want. But yeah, I've been in the industry that I'm in for 15 years, or going on 15 years, and to be in the position where not only can I make a difference at a company, be seen and sit at the table instead of just being a number. Well, it's, anywhere you go, when you're dealing with a corporation, you're always a number, but I'm just not lost in the sauce kind of number. So I'm very, very happy to share that news with everybody. It was weighing heavy on me. It was taking me out of my game when it came to my kids, to my girl, to my friends and shit. I was, just pounding the pavement, getting myself out there, making sure that I was doing what's best for me and what's best for my family. And if anybody out there is currently having the same issue that, or the same situation that I've been in for the past couple of months, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I want you to keep fighting. Understand that I know that how dark things can get, especially when money is called into question, called into play. It's not hopeless. It is an arduous task to go out there and apply to different places. Sometimes they won't be offering you the same money that you had previously. Sometimes they won't even have the same position, but just make sure that you're doing what's right for you, and not just financially, but like for your mental health as well. So yeah, so I'm very happy to start. I started in a couple of weeks, and yeah, man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm happy with how this whole situation went, and I'm just happy I'm able to share it with the people that I care for and the people that I love. That way, um, I'm just not just in my head all the fucking time. So anyway, now that I get that out of the way, so ever since like Valentine's Day, I've been thinking about um this is what really got me into it. Like I'm we're this coming Friday is my second anniversary with my girl. Um and which is a big thing. I'm very excited. So by the time this episode comes out, it'll be like just a day or two before uh our anniversary. So I'm trying to do right by my girl, and make sure that she feels appreciated, and she feels loved, and she feels seen. But also I want her to put I want her to feel comfortable that she can trust me in any situation. And that's the question of love, of trust, not just love, not just commitment, but trust. You have to be able to trust your partner, no matter where you go. Like next week, um, my girl's going on a trip to El Salvador. Um, which is very exciting. And unfortunately, I can't go because I'll be starting a new job. But yeah, like I want her to be able to have fun. I want her to be able to have um time with her girls, and you know, uh, just time to rediscover herself outside of the relationship. Because once you get into a relationship, you start um losing yourself, and you start becoming the couple version of yourself, and not who you were before you entered this relationship. So yeah, so she's going on a trip, and then after that she goes another trip. That one's for work. This one's is recreation. So I started thinking about trust. It's not that I don't trust her, um, and that's what's gonna sound like. Oh, I don't trust my girl in a whole nother country and shit like that. No, I do. I absolutely trust my girl in a whole nother country. Um, but the question is of like in just in everyday relationships, how much trust do you give your partner? Like how much do you trust your girl? How much do you trust your man um to act accordingly when they are not with you? How much trust do you put in them that they don't make you look stupid out here in these streets? Uh, you know, I've been in relationships where girls have cheated on me. I've been in situations where I haven't been that faithful type of dude to my partner, and I know the hurt that it causes, and I know the hurt that is caused by these certain actions. So and I know how much it kills um the trust in any relationship. Like you can go, well, I forgive and I forget and all that shit, but you forgive. You may forgive for a little bit. You may forgive for a little bit, but the forgetting is it doesn't happen. If ladies and gentlemen, if you think somebody's forgetting infidelity or any fucking mistake that happens in a relationship, you are sorely mistaken. You can ask my kid's mom. And like there's stuff that happened very early into in the relationship, that when the relationship was ending, however many years after, it it came up. Believe me, it came up. It was in my abstract. It was like, oh, and by the way, motherfucker, remember this shit from 2008? Like, god damn, like really? 2008, you're bringing this up anyway. So, and yes, I abused the trust. She later on abused my trust too, but whatever, it is what it is. So the question is how much trust do you put in a person? How much, you know, can you go, I'll allow this, or I'll let this, and I hate to use that word allow. I hate to put it in those terms, but you have to allow it. The word allow is like, like, look, I'm letting you go out there in the world knowing that I trust you enough to not really worry of how you conduct yourself in these streets. Like, for example, would you let your girl or your man go out on a girl's trip or a guy's trip, right? So I've heard stories where, girls go on girls trips. We're going to Puerto Rico, whatever. The reason I'm bringing that specific thing up is because me and my girl have been watching that show Harlem, which is like just like Black Sex in the City, whatever. So we're watching Harlem, and they're like, "Oh well, we need to get our groove back, and this girl needs to da 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 da." And they go to Puerto Rico on the girls' trip, and it's like this whole thing where the last time they were there, they were a lot younger, and um, it was like, "Hey, we're gonna fuck a bunch of guys, or do a bunch of drugs, and drink a lot of shit, and then we're gonna just rediscover ourselves, whatever." Um, so a lot of times, and I've heard personally, like girls who go on girls trips, whatever happens in Puerto Rico happens, stays in Puerto Rico, or what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's that whole fucking that lie, but chlamydia is forever. It follows you wherever you go. So are you confident enough in your spouse or your partner, whether you're married or not, to go on a trip without you and expect them to conduct themselves in a respectable manner, not just for themselves, but for you as well, especially when they're like, my biggest fear has always been and still is, when you get introduced to the girl group and they know you. "Oh my God, Joe, you're so awesome. You're so much better than the other guy." And you go, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, ladies. Thank you very much." But then they turn a blind eye from where their homegirl, my girl, is cheating on me. I'm saying this because it has happened to me before, where a whole chick is cheating on me, and her homegirl, who's like, "Oh my God, Joe, I love you. You better take care of her, or I'll fucking kill you." It's all fun and games where they protect their girl and not protect the sanctity of the relationship. So you're willing to turn a blind eye to that shit. Now it calls the whole friend group and you into question because your morality is whatever it is. And I understand and I hear you. I can hear you in my headphones. But Joe, how can you expect me to turn on my homegirl when I don't know you? I only know you through her, which is respectable. However, if I was cheating on my girl, which I'm not, though my cheating days are far behind me. Anyway, if I'm cheating on my girl and my boys know, I fully expect them to either check me, like, "Yo, what are you doing? You got a good girl at home. Yo, you wilding out in these streets. You either stop or I tell her, and I love you, and I don't, I don't want to put you in a tough situation." I fully expect everybody to check their friends in the friend group. So when you're on these girl trips, like, yeah, you can go out there and have all the fun that you want, or you're on these guys trips, you have all the fun that you want. But if you're in a relationship, if you're in a committed relationship, understand that the person that you left home has entrusted you to not have them look stupid out in these streets. So I don't think you should misuse that trust or take advantage of that trust in you. Like, well, they trust me, so I can do whatever the fuck. My girl does things, I'll never be out here or making her look stupid. And then they end up doing it, and they ended up fucking destroying their whole life that they had in just for some bitch in Puerto Plata who is just fucking for papers or whatever. So Yeah, it's like, would you allow your partner, your spouse, or whatever, to go on a girl or guy's trip without you, and do you trust them enough to not uh conduct themselves in a debaucherous manner, I should say. Um, so yeah, so that's one thing. So and the other day, so Sunday, me and my girl, we wake up and we were like, you know what, it's nice. We're gonna go out. In general, like on Sundays, like me and my girl, we don't make breakfast and we don't make coffee at her house or whatever. So what we do is like, fuck it. When we're together, we'll go out and we'll go to a coffee shop. There's a coffee shop out in Hackensack that we like to go to, Marimba. Shout out to Marimba all day. This is not an ad. This is not an ad. You gotta pay me for ad. So we go there. In general, we get our coffees, or we'll go somewhere to get breakfast or whatever. So there's a new place in Hackensack. It's like Hawaiian themed or whatever. Overpriced as shit. I sidebar. I understand that your whole setup is all quirky and very niche, and we're Hawaiian. Aloha when you walk in. But it was 2 sandwiches and 2 coffees, and I paid $30. That's highway fucking robbery. Anyway, sandwich was good. I'll give them that. But it was like made on, like my girl said, it looks like they made it on King's Hawaiian bread. Like it was a very small sandwich. And the coffee was decent. The coffee was really good. So I won't complain about that. But fuck me, bro. $30 for 2 coffees and 2 sandwiches. Anyway, I digress. So we're there. And we're having coffee. We're having our sandwiches before we go out and do our errands. We run our errands. So there's a couple that comes in. They're ordering and they're waiting for their order. Like 2 minutes later, this guy walks in with his dog. I love dogs, so I automatically like, look at the dog. So the people, they get their order. The couple, they get their order, and then they sit down. And then the guy orders, and now he's waiting for his order. Now, the girl, she walks up to the dog owner and starts petting the dog, playing with the dog, talking to the guy about the dog, while her boyfriend or her husband, I don't know what they were, he's just sitting at the table 10 feet away. Now, I'm telling my girl, I tell my girl, I'm like, I don't like that. Like, that makes me uncomfortable. That makes me uncomfortable that she's so comfortable to talk to a complete stranger about his dog without her man. And she's like, really? She goes, is that something that you're, is that a deal breaker? That's what she said, or something like that. And I go, no, it's not a deal breaker, but it does bother me. Now, again, it's not a deal breaker for me because everybody loves dogs. I love dogs. I'll talk to anybody about their dog. Now, will I approach a stranger of the opposite sex and chat them up about their dog? Probably not, especially if I'm with my partner. Now, she's like, well, maybe the guy doesn't like dogs. That's fair. It's fair. But I also don't expect my girl to just walk away from me and just talk this nigga up about his fucking black lab. So, like, and we see it all the time. That's why most people have dogs. And that's why people go out in public with their dogs. I hate to break it to you, but a pet, a dog, especially a dog, is the ultimate wingman when it comes to meeting people. If a girl wants to meet a guy, she goes outside in her leggings, fucking Crocs, and a cute dog, and some guy's gonna come up to her and like, can I pet that dog? And while he's petting the dog, he's talking to her and he's getting to know her. And now there's like a meet cute. Oh my God, you like dogs? I love dogs, and blah, blah. And like, you want to go grab a cup of coffee? I understand that I'm creating a whole fucking scenario based on a dog, but it happens. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. That's why most people have dogs. But yeah, so it's like the ultimate wingman. So now, for the simple fact that I have that shit in my head, and then you have a girl walking 10 feet away from her partner who's still at the table while she's petting this dog and talking to the owner. I was like, I got a problem with that. Now, I want to know if I'm crazy. Am I crazy for thinking that you should not be talking to a person of the opposite sex in front of me without me in near proximity or without me being introduced to said opposite sex member? Am I crazy? And I really want to know, am I out of line on this one? I'm just creating scenarios in my head that create an aura of mistrust or whatever. But still, I think if I walk away from my girl to talk to some chick with a dog and I start petting the dog and I'm like, well, how old is the dog? Oh no, did you take a walk around here often? Like, she will have a problem with that. She will absolutely have a fucking problem with that because I should not be talking about to no bitch about a bitch. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm out of line, then you check me. But this is just the way that I fucking think. Whatever. Maybe I'm too mistrusting in that sense. But yeah. So there was that. So, after that, we grab our coffee and then like I said, we've been watching Harlem. It's a show on Prime. So after we do our what do you call it? Our errands, we come back home and we put on Harlem, whatever. And I guess I must have, obviously I drift in and out of the show. Like, she watches it without me. And I just, when I'm there and she's watching it, I'll sit down and I'll get into it. So there's a part that I missed where it's starring Megan Good and 3 other female actresses that I don't know. I just know Megan Good. So Megan Good is like the lead. She's like the Carrie Bradshaw of the show, and somehow she starts working directly with her ex-boyfriend. Now, so I go, hold on. So she's in a whole new relationship now, right? My girl goes, yep, she's in a relationship. Cool. So she's working with her ex-boyfriend. And she goes, yeah. I go, that's weird. She goes, why? I go, would you feel comfortable if I worked with my ex? Any one of my exes? And she goes, absolutely not. She goes, I would hate that and I will not allow it. Here goes that word allow. Remember, it's not a power struggle. It's not is not the matriarchy or the patriarchy, or it's just a perspective. So I go, but why not? She goes, I just wouldn't feel comfortable about that. And I go, I'm the same way. I wouldn't want to work with my ex. Fuck that. Like that's stupid. That right there is stupid. Especially willingly working with an ex. Like I understand, like just like, oh, accidentally working with somebody that we're just put on the same project, or we end up working for the same company but different whatever it is. If it's out of your control, then it's out of your control. But if it's inside your realm of control, then I think you should avoid it at all fucking times. At all goddamn times avoid working with your ex because there's too much history there. And not only does it like, and I'm not saying that every single time you work with an ex or you're within close proximity of an ex that, oh my God, old feelings are gonna come to the surface again and old flames get reignited. No, it just yes, has that happened in the past? I'm sure people have. You know, I know a guy who full blown cheated on his wife. They got divorced for X amount of years. They had a kid, obviously. They had a kid. He had a full blown relationship. She had a full blown relationship. Maybe 10 years, 8 years later, they rekindled their marriage, and now they're remarried, and then they're happily ever after. Has it happened? Yes. I'm not saying, I don't know if they work together anyway, but I know that in general, depending on how bad the fucking breakup was, is a shit show, no matter where. Like, it's either going to be tension or shit talking, or your girl's going to be jealous and their new man's going to be jealous. So why create that conflict when it can be completely avoided? So yeah, so I asked, I'm like, so would you accept that I work with an ex? She was like, no, absolutely not. I wouldn't want that. That's stupid. That's just, creating a situation that can be completely avoided. And I agree. I don't think anybody should work with their ex or close to their ex. Well, we own the business together. Then sell that business, bro. If you have kids, the only business contract that you have is your obligation to your children. That's it. You have no obligations to the other person. If you're within business with another person, somebody has to buy somebody out. I promise you, somebody has to buy somebody out of that situation, because we can't keep doing this. Now, I'll start my own business. You start your own business, but that's the long and short of it. Like, we're not working together. Fuck that. I'm not seeing you every day after either I cheated or you cheated, or this just dissolved into some daily friction all the goddamn time. So it is what it is. In the context of work. So on Valentine's Day, I saw a post. It's actually in the New York Post, to be honest. I saw a post where somebody was selling like Valentine's cards for work husbands and work wives. Now, I don't know what everybody is. I don't know everybody's feelings towards a work husband and a work wife. I don't fuck with it. I absolutely don't fuck with it. Now, I don't fuck with it, especially if you're in a relationship. If you're in a relationship, if you're married or you have a boyfriend, or you're married and you have a girlfriend, whatever, your relationships with your coworkers should be strictly business. Like, nobody should be out there like having like alone time with another person that's not your significant other. Because at the end of the day, like, somebody, like, even though it's platonic and even though nothing goes on at the workplace, but there's anytime you let a third party into your relationship, there's always going to be some division there. There's always going to be some division. There's always going to be, like that fucking inkling of doubt in your head. It's like, yo, why are you talking to them so much? Or like, it was just like, and it happens so naturally. You could be at home having dinner and you love each other. Like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you what Angel said at work. There you go. Yo, you talk to Angel a lot. Doesn't he work in a different department? And then you start all these questions, and then they get defensive. Like, what the fuck? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? You don't trust me when I'm at work? And then it turns into that. And then what happens, and believe me, because it's happened to me, it has happened to me, where your significant other now goes and tells the work husband or work wife, yo, my girl or my man is tripping because I talk to you a lot. And then you go, oh, and the other person goes, oh, what? Like, do you tell them we're just friends and all that shit? And there you go. Again, people don't talk to people unless they have some kind of connection with that other person. You know, I've seen situations where a work husband and work wife end up in a relationship together, and then they end up dissolving their own relationship, the real relationship, I should say. And you go, fuck. Like, is that what's going to happen? Does that happen as often as you talk about, Joe? Yeah, it happens. It happens a fucking lot. Has it happened to me? Maybe. I'll leave that up to your interpretation. But yeah, so now you give the work husband, the work wife leverage. Like, fuck yeah, I'm in this motherfucker's head. And now they mistrust me so much that I now have an in. Now I can get my work significant other, whatever, whenever I want. Now I can start something real. So my question for you, audience, is it cool to have a work husband, work wife relationship while you're in a committed relationship? I say no. I say no. And I will always say no. Because have I been a work husband before? Yep. Was I in a relationship at the time? Sure. Now, does it confuse things? Yes. Because now you have two people to share your feelings with. And you know what's fucked up is that sometimes the person that you work with ends up being now you have something in common. You're trauma bonding. Like, yo, I hate this job. Yeah, fuck this job. Let's go have a sandwich in the parking lot. And it starts like that. It starts so fucking simple with, yo, fuck this job. Yeah. Yo, you heard what fucking Tony said? Yeah, fuck Tony. Now it's a whole fuck Tony club, but now it's just only 2 members in it. And now you start talking about other shit. And you can't allow anybody to step into your relationship in any context because they use that. And now, and all you're doing is causing mistrust in your real relationship. I'm just being honest because this has happened to me. I have done it. It is a shitty feeling. It's a sucky feeling. But, you know, can it be avoided? Yeah. Go to work, do your job, go home. That's it. As simple as that. As simple as that. And usually work husband and work wife relationships only start because something's not going right at home. Or something's not going right in whatever relationship that you're in. So yeah. So the whole theme of trust, it's you have to cultivate your trust in your relationship. All I'm saying is, if you're going to be in a relationship, be committed. Empathize with the other person. You know, show your loyalty, show your reliability, show your ability to set boundaries with the outside world, and not allow too many people in your relationship. Because once that happens, then there's too many chefs in the kitchen, and then it starts creating doubt. And also, again, if your friend group makes your significant other uncomfortable, you'll have to look at what they see. That comes with empathy. You have to see what they see. You might not see it because you're too close to the elephant. I think maybe you need to step back a little bit to go, all right, maybe they don't like this person because of how they move or what I've told them about that person. So also, like, if you want if you want your partner to accept your friend group and trust them or trust you while you're with them, you have to paint your people in a good light. Not just go, yo, I fucking Tony the other day had his his full face in the girl's ass at the strip club, and you go, why would I ever let you go out with Tony? Why would I allow you to go on the guy's trip with this nigga? Or if you're telling me about your homegirl, oh my God, the other day Bethany fucking rubbed the dick all over her face, but not in her mouth, weirdly, but just she rubbed it all over her face, and then she went home and then tucked her kids into bed and kissed her husband. And you go, oh shit, Bethany's nasty. And you chill with her. Shit like that. So you have to paint your friend group in a positive light in order for your partner to trust you while you're with them. Because they do say, birds of a feather flock together. That's an old saying. I am showing my age, but fuck you. But yeah. So remember, man, trust is a very fragile thing. It can be broken. It can be expanded. And once you get past, the point of where nobody trusted each other, then the rest of the relationship just goes down. Anyway, that's it. That's it for today. I went a little long today. But yeah, I hopefully I got my point. Anywho, so yep. Hopefully this weather holds up. Again, shout out to my boy Torian with Tape Deck Selects on YouTube. I'll be shouting him out every single chance that I get. Go check him out. It's Lord Puba, LORD PUBA on YouTube. Weekly he talks about hidden gems, and he talks about real hip-hop shit. Anyway, and with that, this has been another episode of Unaccompanied Adult with Joe Diaz. Peace.